Welcome everyone, it's time. It's the week of Champions Paris 2025 kicking off in just a couple days time, and that means we have to decide who's going to actually win the tournament. That's right, whatever we put down here obviously is going to happen. That's how we're going to get the perfect Pick'em title. We're going to be the first ever. It's not even going to take a full year for it to happen. Riot's going to be upset, but that's not my problem. So what we're going to do today is we are going to go through we're going to do our tier list first. We'll do it kind of in relative order, but it's mostly about the tiers. And then we'll do the in-game pick'ems. And I mean, I guess we can fill out the VLR pick'ems as well, but I probably won't keep it updated. So we're going to start with the team that I'm quite convinced is going to be the gatekeeper team. Kind of the deciding factor. Obviously, that can't happen because it's 4 groups. But in my head, like, this is the team that is determining what the standard needs to be at Champions 2025. And to me, that team is NRG. I think they have, obviously, very, very, very clear strengths. So, their defense, right? They call themselves the Iron Wall, and they kind of prove it. So, I don't think you can really argue with that. They've got a great opera. It goes with that. They're really good with the Odins. It goes with that. They're very specialized on defense, and it's really, really good. I think there's a lot of hidden potential on the team. You have really solid strengths. I think they showcase very, very good kind of foundational thoughts and philosophies about the maps. And so they're dead on, kind of a good average, right? You know what? Let's go with the obvious. Let's go with one of our favorites, PaperX. I think everyone's going to have PaperX in their favorites. If you don't have PaperX in your favorites, I don't even know, because they're like one of the most likable teams, so you can't even be a hater. So I guess you're just trolling. The only question mark is the corrode, which, by the way, they left it open once, and it turns out it's because they were like, we don't know what to do, and they asked one of their staff members, I think their content manager, and they were like, you should leave corrode open, so that's why they did it. So I don't know how much faith I have in them actually having had a corrode prepared during Pacific, but I mean, they will have it for champs. I was very disappointed to see that in their vlog. You know what? Okay, let's go with the other obvious. G2 is the other one. The real question here is going to be, do I favor one over the other? Let me think about that while we talk. I think Jogmo is going to show up. I mean, not that he ever disappeared, but I think he's going to show up at champs more than just as a really good member for G2. I really think that also, if you look at kind of what G2's been playing, let's take a look at it here. So, mostly the Yoru, right? Mostly the Yoru, but they're starting to mix in the Neon again. They're experimenting with the Waylay, and I've said this, in the other video, but I think Waylay is included in that list. I think Jogamo is someone who can play the Waylay very well, especially now that he's getting even better and better at the Yoru even more. Let's talk about a team that I think is a great case of upset potential. It's DRG. Dragon Ranger Gaming. Now, they were second place in China, and as someone who has been saying that I think China is going to... I think people are underlooking China, right? I think they're underestimating China. It might seem a little weird that I'm putting their second seed as upset potential. Now, this would have been true even if we didn't know about the news with Demon 1 potentially standing in and Vukushu potentially not making it in time for the first matches. Even without that, they would have stayed at upset potential for me. The thing is the style that they play is limited. It's limited. But on the flip side, really nobody else at this Champions plays like they do. And so in a lot of ways, that could put them here. It's debatable. And I'm not thinking about like the group matchups, right? Like this is an overall tier list. Within the group, it is looking kind of tough for DRG, I think. But I don't fundamentally like the way they play Valorant. I do think it's better than it used to be. I think it is much more team-based. But it's still very... I mean, the good news is they understand what they're good and bad at, and they're leaning into what they're good at. So they figure that part out. Well, okay, yeah, I mean, let's mention that now that we do know, right? If Demon 1 is standing in, I'm kind of excited to see Demon 1 pop off, but they just got around to Vukushu, like, clearly being ingrained into the map, basically. Like, actually having team impact rather than individual impact. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to make that happen with Demon 1 again. Okay, we don't have an EMEA team. Let's talk EMEA a little bit. Team Liquid. All right, let's do Team Liquid. With the eye test, and just off the top of my head, they are contenders. I actually really want to put them as favorites. I really do. But I do think they still get bailed out just enough times by the likes of Nats. Maybe sometimes Kiko. I mean, they take kind of turns doing it. But the only question mark I will put for them is Trex. And by question mark, I mean, where's the ceiling here? Looking better and better each week in Stage 2. I mean, already had, really no problems coming into the roster. But by the playoffs, by the finals, I think Trex was very much a core part of the team, right? Not just like, he's a really good initiator who's playing with a really good team. It really felt like he was now meshing with the team. Okay, MIBR. Before I look at the stats, my gut tells me they're upset potential. But if MIBR is not there for the croissant, is anybody there for the croissant? Yeah, Verno's the big question, right? With the IGLing and everything. And that's why I don't expect his IG. I'm not expecting MIBR's IGLing to grow a gargantuan amount. Listen, I'm going to put them at upset potential with the disclaimer that this is a little bit of copium for me. Where does RRQ go? I'll tell you, it's between these two. I think they're missing just 2% to be a convincing contender, but I'll tell you what puts them over the edge. Like I think without what I'm about to say, I would have just solidly put them at the top of playoffs material, right? And been like, hey, if they pull a couple upsets, maybe they could be a contender. But the reason I'm going to put them here is is just how stalwart they are at making the comeback. I think that counts for so much. Although that might only really kick in. Well, no, but the thing is, it's not a round robin format. And Magnet, I've always put the question mark on Magnet, and he has delivered like 90% of what I've wanted from him.
I agree with Sliggy's Red on RRQ being a prep-heavy team. They will get out of groups but will probably struggle in playoffs. I
mean, I've always said that about RRQ. RRQ has always been... I mean, if you know RRQ at all, you know that they are a very prep-heavy team. Let's do Giant X. They made it all the way to the grand final. A great grand final, albeit not based on the score, but one-sided in the score line. But Giant X... Oh, Giant X is tough. I think I put Giant X as literally just a weaker version of NRG. I think we can move on from that. I mean, it feels bad because, like, Giant X is literally the most forgettable branding in VCT, and so it feels bad to just be like, okay, great, we can move on. But, I mean, like, this is a team that I'm excited to watch their journey, but it's a long-term journey. I'm prepared for the long-term journey. I am not, like, prepared for the roller coaster ride at Champions. Dude, I hate to do it. But I think XOG's here for the croissant. And I hate to do it because I keep telling everyone I think everyone's underestimating China. And yet I'm about to put China as the first team in the croissant category. Chat, here's the thing. Okay, this was true at Toronto as well. Just for those who are dropping in new, all right? For all you new faces. I think Ronger's a bit overrated. I said that before Toronto as well. I said that even when people were talking about it just within China as well. The reason I say this... The reason I say I think he's a bit overrated, it doesn't mean I think he's bad, but people are talking about Rarga as if he can match Jemkin today. I think Rarga is more like Jemkin last year, maybe 2 years ago. Like, I like that they're trying to lean into what they're good at, but I don't think they've figured out. I think they're kind of all over the place with their read on the meta. And I am not convinced that they're going to figure it out by Champions. I'm not convinced that they're going to figure out a system, because I feel like this is a team that currently, with the time that you have, you can't try to figure out a specific comp for each map. You have to quickly buckle down and say, okay, you have to go the 2024 Gen G route. I know I keep using them as an example, but they're such a good example for everything. So you have to go that route of where you say, these are our strengths, this is our core, we apply this to every map so that we can play the same style every map. And then you go from there. I think this is a team that needs that. They don't have enough experience to adapt to a different playstyle every single map. And currently, you're playing double Senti, double TP on Ascent, right? And then you're playing heavy burst on Bind. Then you're playing kinda standard control, double controller on Haven with the Viper. And then you're playing triple Senti on Lotus. It's a little all over the place. And if you're super polished and very experienced, sure, but I don't think you have it in you to figure this out yet. Now, the Bind and Haven they've got good records, but I think that's more just comfort. Chat, Heretics. Okay, you guys want to talk about everyone. Okay, all right. So Heretics, the one team. Heretics is the one team that is literally either going to be here or here. There is no in between. There is zero in between. What do you do with this team? No, but you can't put them here. You can't put Heretics at Croissant. I can't. Flip a coin. Wait. No. I didn't decide yet. Okay, I didn't decide yet. Okay. Chat, I'll let you decide so I'm not cheating. What's what? What's heads? What is heads? Top heads? Heads for Heretics? Heads for top? Okay. Oh, everyone agrees. Wow, that's crazy. All right. We're just going to do one flip, okay? 3, 2, 1. Oh! They're doing it, chat. But in good conscience, I cannot put them in favorites. In good conscience, I cannot put them in favorites. No, you know what? The coin told me to. No, the coin told me to, chat. No, the coin told me. The coin doesn't lie. You think Google would lie? Chat, we're living in the age of AI. Google actually already knows. Google's probably calculated this so fast that it's gone to the future and back. Oh, what have I become? Oh, what have I become? Okay, moving on. T1 DRX. Let's talk DRX first. Chat, this is not up for discussion, okay? You ready for this? DRX is playoffs material, and that's the end of the story. I don't care how many of you are hate watching. That's totally understandable. I think that's totally reasonable. I wanted Talon there more than anybody, but DRX is literally still. You can hate them as much as you want. You can say that they're worse than their previous versions as much as you want, but it actually does not change the fact that DRX is literally the definition of high floor. They have always been high floor. Like they are just there to not fail. Deter me buy you a Porsche. Because here, okay, the only way I see DRX playing two different types of Valorant. Okay, one is you've been given a second chance, and Termi and the coaches walk in and they say, all right, we've been given a second chance. We cannot fail. Classic DRX style. We cannot fail this. So we're going back to basics, right? You play super standard comps, you play super standard strat books, but you have a giga deep strat book that's just going to get you through the group stage, and then you try to move on. That's number one. Number two is they say, you know what? We've been given a second chance. Everyone's hate watching us anyway. We got nothing to lose. This will probably not happen, but if they did, if anything, they would go higher, right? If they lean into Hunman and Flashback, they would go higher. The map pool is also favoring them. Abyss is huge for them. Abyss is massive for them. Let's talk about EDG. Okay, let's start with playoffs material and let's talk through it. I'm going to put them in playoffs material simply because I think as a team, they are upset potential, but their individual players are so talented that I think it carries them just enough consistently to be playoffs material. And then you have the big question mark of Gianni, right? You have the big question mark of Gianni, who looks a lot more comfortable on the Duelist, but the variance is very high. Sentinels. Dude, I watched most of the playoffs games. I don't know what to do with this team. I initially thought that I would be putting them in contenders. But am I putting them in contenders? If Bang, Zekin, and Neri play as well as they can be at the same time, they're contenders. Yeah. And what did I say at the beginning, chat? If I have to put a disclaimer on for why they should be in that group, then they're not in that tier. Chat, I'm telling you, DRX is not going to be that bad. They're not going to be great, but they're not going to be that bad. This is literally the one time that I'm, like, overestimating a Korean team. Probably have to shuffle this a little bit because... because these guys are going to be contenders. These guys are going to be contenders. This is a little bit of bias again. Fnatic does look like they are the worst they've ever been at a macro level, and I agree. But I can't help but imagine that it will get better. Is that too much hopium? Their map pool is pretty bad. We always knew this. You know what? You're right, chat. I'm going to have too many teams top-heavy, and this is a top-heavy tournament. But you're right. You know what? Surely everyone who ever watches this video is smart enough to understand that these are the best teams in the world, and it's a close tier list. Surely, right? Surely everyone on the internet has at least some common sense. So I can rework this. Do we? Do we need a little bit of a rework? But I actually think they're going to show up, man. I think MIBR is going to actually show up. Who can I move, though? I feel so good about this right here. Oh, this tournament is really stacked. This tournament is really stacked. No, but they're better than that, man. Demote EDG as well. Oh, but EDG... No, because if I demote EDG... I can't ever tell people that they're underestimating China. I think China's... Actually, I don't know, because XOG, I think XOG is just not going to do much. DRG could have... Yeah, I guess so. I guess the whole of China isn't being underestimated. Follow your heart. Okay, chat. You know what? You want a biased take? Here's my biased take. That would be my heart. This is what my heart tells me. Wait for it. I am huge on Billy. And it's funny to say it because I'm very big on Fnatic as well. But it's one of those things where Fnatic is more hopium right now. And Billy is more of what I've seen. I think Billy's gonna show up. I think Neff and YZ are too good. I think they're so good. I don't know. Am I getting baited? Am I getting baited by YZ stealing the aura from Kong Kong in the winner's interview? Maybe. Is this just 2022 Chobra? You know, realizing that he can be a fan of Billy again? Maybe. This is it. No, this is my list. This is my list. I think T1 has an argument for contenders, honestly, but that's a little bit more hopium than I would have for Fnatic. Like, that's hopium on the individuals, whereas Fnatic is hopium on the team, which we kind of have some... Well, I mean, I guess we have history for T1 winning Masters individuals as well, but... Dude, Sen just doesn't... You know what? Oh, I can't take them off? Dude, get Sen out of here. You know what? Sen doesn't have a spot on the chart. They're ruining my tier list. I mean, this looks pretty balanced. I'm okay with this. I think this is fine. You know what? Oh, man, but then it's just 3 China at the bottom. Do I believe that all these... you know what? You know what? It's not my fault. I do think China overall is getting underestimated. I do think they're going to show up. I actually believe that one of these two teams will pull off a pretty big upset. But, again, this is a tier list. It's not the Pickems. It's not my fault that EDG, I don't know, is living in the past. Okay, so I'm okay with this order. I do think the only reason Giant X gets pushed down, I think objectively I would put Giant X, like, if I didn't, not in relativity, I would put them somewhere here. But I actually think Giant X is exactly the type of team that DRG can take out, in my opinion. Why are people so down on T1? Like, I actually, personally, I would want to put T1 a bit higher, but that would be a bit of hopium. I think that's a bit of hopium on the individual performance. Like, I think it's possible, but I think that would be a little hopium. But T1, okay, so the difference is T1 is literally playoffs material because of player quality. And you can technically say the same thing for EDG, but EDG currently is in a state where they are not leaning into their player quality because they're trying to figure out what they want to do with the meta, whereas T1 has just accepted that and they're leaning into their player quality.
Your Heretics clickbait worked. I had to rewind on YouTube to see the reasoning.
Yeah, but was it really bait? Billy, again, I mean, it's not even... I wouldn't call it bias, but I actually think... dude, okay. I'm just going to say this right now. I might make a separate video about this, but mark my words, I think really good Waylays and really good KOs are going to make a world of a difference at this champs. Waylay maybe not as much just because people are still a little hesitant. But I think really good KOs are going to make a world of a difference at this champs. And Neff is the guy who kind of convinced me of that. Because if you can play the KO really well, like if you can play the KO ideally, KO fixes so many problems from having to potentially only play one initiator. And he can do it. Like, he can actually do it. G2, okay, G2 Paper X. I honestly don't know. I'm so 50-50 on this. Actually, no. I'm 51-49 on this chat. Should I just go with my heart? Should I go with my heart here? I think G2's finally going to win. I think G2's finally going to win. I think G2's actually going to win. Literally, it's 51-49 just because I think G2's going to win. I actually just... I don't know. Something in my gut tells me that G2's going to win. And obviously, I've never, ever gotten any of my predictions wrong, ever, chat. So, G2's going to win. So here you have it. This is it. Lock it in. Screenshot it if you want. I actually think the most criminal ranking here is Giant X. I think the most criminal ranking here... Well, it's the most criminal is actually Heretics. But the second most criminal ranking is Giant X. But it's one of those things where Giant X is kind of in a weird position where I do think DRG absolutely trumps them style-wise, but it's... Yeah. Again, without relativity, I think Giant X is here, but because DRG exists... So, if you'd rate Heretics fairly, where would they be? If I could rate Heretics freely, and I was good at making animations, I would have them literally ping-ponging back and forth. Okay, you know what? It's the perfect time. Let's go to the Pickems. Let's talk about how I think this is actually going to work out. Okay, so... Welcome to the Pickems. In case you've missed this every other time or you're new to Valorant, you can do your Pickems either in-game or on the ValorantEsports.com website. So here's how this is going to work. It already tells you picks are open. You go to the esports page, nice and smooth. You got the schedule on there, partner teams, and then you go to Pickems. On the right side, you've got community factions. So they changed this a little bit. But basically, you have kind of the biggest creators that Riot has partnered with, and they have their own factions, and I think there's rewards for factions, right? So you can do that. We have our own leaderboard, so you'll be able to join that as well. If you're right now in chat, you can check in and chat with the command Pickem, so you can join that just so we can compare with each other, but factions is a totally different thing. That's predetermined with partners from Riot, so... I don't know. Pick and choose whichever one you like. Nice ones is great from Laz. I'll probably join Laz's. PaperX XLG Giant XN. Okay, I mean, they can't troll this. They can't troll this. Okay, so we'll come back to this, but this I think is the textbook, right? Textbook for Group A should be PaperXN, Giant XXOG. Let's move on to Group B. Billy, MIBR. Okay, Billy wins this. You know what? I'm going to stick with it. I think Billy wins this group. I think they do. Chat, I actually think MIBR is going to do damage. But if they're definitely losing to Billy, the only place they can do damage is against RRQ here. I actually don't think... I think Group B is the hardest group if you think MIBR might do damage. I think... And even without MIBR, I think Group B is the hardest. Let's come back to Group B. I actually think Group B is the hardest. This group gets a little interesting. But at the end of the day, it's going to be Team Liquid DRX. Although, oh man, I kind of want to see NRG move on up. Damn, am I really not going to have EDG go for the run back? I think EDG might go for the run back. All right, so the time has come, chat. We'll review the other groups again. A is the only one that's that I'm 100% on. But so which Heretics is showing up? I mean, I think G2 goes out in first in this group no matter what, right? I think they do. But I think T1 beats DRG. I think that's fine. But if it's DRG Heretics... Oh. So if it's Heretics T1... I want the Heretics run back. I think it's very possible. I mean, Group D is literally up to Heretics. Group D Pickems is literally at the mercy of Heretics. No, I'm too big on Hyunmin, man. And chat, this is literally the one time that I'm bigging up a Korean team. I'm going to keep Group C as is. Oh, I don't know. Team Liquid's so talented. Fine, we'll go with Liquid at the top. Oh, Group B is tough. I do think MIBR is going to do damage. You know what the worst thing is, chat? Is at some point, the entire Valorant community has gaslit me into thinking that I just can't win this group. Right? It's either I do like something like this and RQ goes out in first place in the group, or I do this and then RQ bombs out. It's like I just can't win. I just can't win this group. But RQ is not this bad. The order here doesn't actually matter for the Pickems, right? Does it matter? Oh, all positions matter? Oh, okay. Order matters, huh? There you go, chat. Lock it in. Sorry, RQ. I mean, or I guess you're welcome. I guess. There's our Pickems. Make sure you join our leaderboard. That's different from the factions thing. You can still join your favorite creator's faction, but you can join our leaderboard so we can keep track of each other. The link will be down in the description below. And if you're in the chat, it's in the command. Let me know what you think. Did I overcook? Because this is fairly different. This is fairly different from... well, not that different. I guess Sen's kind of the one that throws things off here, but that's because of how the group is from the tier list. So let me know what you think. And after that, we'll see you guys during the watch parties all throughout Champs Paris. This should be close. It is going to be an exciting one. Thanks for watching. I will see you all you guys next time.